My son hates me because I told him the truth about his father. I heard him scream from the hallway. I wish it had been you who left, not him. My son hurled those words at me, his eyes red with rage. I felt a sharp blow to my chest. His voice, the same voice of the boy I had raised alone, was now a weapon splitting me in two. All because I told him the truth about his father. He was 15, and for years he had asked why he never saw him. I always dodged the question with clumsy excuses, that he was far away, that he couldn't come, that someday they would meet again, but the pressure grew. He demanded it with that teenage insistence that erodes patience. I want to see him. I want to talk to him. You can't deny me my dad. And one day, after he threw a framed picture of us to the floor, I snapped. I told him what I had kept quiet for so long, that his father had abandoned me before he was born, that it hadn't been an accident or obligation, but a choice. I told him he had wanted me to abort, that he left me crying with my suitcase packed at the door, that he never once asked about him. My son stared at me with his mouth open, as if I were speaking in an incomprehensible language. I thought he would cry, that he would throw himself into my arms. But instead, he stood abruptly from the table and shouted, "Lies! Don't say that about him. You must have done something to make him leave." It felt like being torn apart from the inside. From that moment on, everything changed. He started searching for him online, asking around, digging in every possible corner, until he found him. A single message on social media was enough for his father, the man who had erased us from his life without looking back to reply within hours. It didn't take long for him to promise everything my son had always dreamed of. Trips, gifts, time together. "Your mother always wanted to keep me away from you," he wrote, and my son believed him. The days became unbearable. He shut his bedroom door in my face, screamed that I was a manipulator, that I wanted to steal his chance to have a father. He told me you made everything that you always blocked him, that you even forbade him to see me, he repeated. It was like watching my own son being ripped from my arms, slowly, word by word. One weekend, my son announced he wanted to go stay with him. I felt the air leave my lungs. I couldn't forbid it. I didn't want him to think I was controlling him, but terror flared inside me. I agreed, on the condition that I take him myself. The reunion took place in a park. He was there, older, with a smile far too wide for a man who had vanished 16 years. When my son ran to hug him, I felt a hollow so deep I had to look away. At first, everything seemed perfect. My son came home thrilled, telling me stories of dinners, promises, plans to move in with him. I bit my lips until they bled to keep from exploding, until the cracks began to show. I heard from neighbors that the man was still gambling, still in debt, still borrowing recklessly like before. When my son started selling his belongings to help dad, the truth hit me like a hammer. I tried to open his eyes, but every word I said was taken as an attack. "All you want is for me to hate him," he spat. One night, I walked into his room and found his backpack packed. He was leaving. He had decided to move in with him. I cried. I begged. I reminded him of everything we had endured alone, but he pushed me away as if I were a stranger. 3 weeks passed before I saw him return. He knocked at the door in the middle of the night, his face hollow, his eyes lifeless. He carried no backpack, nothing, only a silence heavier than any scream. He slipped into his room without a word. The next morning, I found a crumpled envelope on the table. Inside, a promissory note signed by his father, with my son listed as guarantor. He had used him just like he had used everyone else. When I finally got him to talk, he confessed through sobs that he had watched him gamble away the money he raised by selling his computer and his bike, that he had overheard him insulting his own mother on the phone, and that when he protested, his father abandoned him on the street. "You were right," he murmured, barely audible. But there was no relief in his voice, only a muted rage aimed at me. "You told me too late. Now he lives with me again, but he's not the same. He no longer calls me mom with the tenderness he once had. He speaks to me coldly, answers in monosyllables. And though I know he no longer trusts his father, he doesn't trust me either, because in his mind, I was the one who shattered the illusion too late, the one who let him dream of a man who never really existed."